Hello.
Hey, Danny, how are you?
Good. How are you? Who am I speaking with?
Hey, how's it going? So,
I'm good.
I was just listening to the last caller.
Sure.
What do you feel like talking about? Because it sounds like
Well, we could talk
it got
about
into
we could
got
talk
into
about whatever.
conspiracy theories a bit.
I'm fine to talk about conspiracy theories. I love conspiracy theories. I mean,
Oh,
the
you
whole
know,
thing with the Kanye stuff really is generally a conspiratorial angle. It's why I put a tinfoil hat on him on his photo in
you know,
the
I
title
I
card.
can't really tell with Kanye because I think he is a master of getting attention.
He's an absolute master of getting attention. Everybody always says too, because in the past he always had like an album coming out, right? But he
Yeah,
doesn't. He doesn't have an album coming out. But again, like if this is like I think he was making I don't know something crazy like $275 million a year from Adidas. But I'm sure he might have been like, look, if I can get out of this deal and do the manufacturing myself, I might make $1 billion a year. And at the end of the day, he's just too influential. People are not just turning their backs on him like that fast.
right.
So
And
like he'll get back on Twitter. Like Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter apparently on Friday. The deal closes, so he's going to be back on Twitter. I'm sure they'll get him back on Instagram or whatever. He'll apologize, and then he'll just be back.
yeah, and I was looking up his net worth because I saw the topic. He's worth 2 billion. Kim is worth 1.8.
Yeah. So the one thing I'll say with that, because Forbes, and this is one of the things where he goes like the media is out to get me or whatever, and then you're like, so Forbes today, maybe it's a clickbait thing, maybe it's just purely for traffic, but they put out a thing where saying he's no longer a billionaire because of this Adidas thing, which is nonsense because you don't know what his assets are. Like what you have every deed to every home he owns and every piece of like investment and like it's just crazy for them to say like, oh, he's not a billionaire anymore. He was saying he's worth on like Lex Friedman and Piers Morgan. He was saying he's worth $11 billion, but that could be some kind of creative math.
Right.
Like if he
Right.
was to sell everything and all the future like income streams, maybe I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely a billionaire. Everybody's like, oh, he got fucked over. You're like the guys. I'm not going to be sad for a billionaire in any capacity.
Right. So him getting attention, he's really good at it. But you watch him talk and you're like, this doesn't seem very thought out. So that's why I'm always torn. Like, does he know what he's doing?
I mean,
Or is he just that good?
it's to be determined. I think we won't know if he really knows what he's doing until a couple years from now. I definitely don't think he's getting his kids or his family back. Like if this is all for that, I don't think that's happening.
Well, I do kind of subscribe to the conspiracy that this is some sort of Kanye Soze
Yeah,
happening right now
possibly.
because he's got like for him to be so successful for so long, he's got to surround himself with somebody doing well. And if it's just for his kids, I mean, they're going to take this to court. Like they don't, he doesn't have to be the best person to speak, but he can hire a legal team that'll tie that up
Of
for
course he is, but again, like you can't. No legal team is going to get her to take him back or whatever. So I'm like, I just don't think that's happening. Like he says, like he's getting treated poorly, and like I'm sure Kim's mother is calling all the shots or whatever. But I'm like, that's a lot of relationships. Like I know non-billionaire, regular people whose people are like, yeah, my mother-in-law's a fucking nightmare. Like it happens. It's like
yeah.
it happens to everybody. It's not like specifically a problem that he is dealing with. It's like he's just like a high profile, I guess. But I don't know. The question is are you going to be able to buy Kanye West shoes or clothes in 2 years from now? And my guess
Oh,
would be
I'm
yes.
I'm a med student. I can't afford any of that right
I mean,
now.
I just don't dress like that either. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a big.
Uh,
I'm not a big fan of the Yeezys personally. Sorry, Suraj.
So about the Jewish stuff, real quick before we move on to the
Yes.
next caller, I was looking average household income in the U.S. Jews are doing pretty well.
Oh, no
Do you
question.
think? I mean, what's the problem? Just because Jews are doing well, is that a problem for anyone else? Because I think when it comes to wealth, it's not a zero-sum game because there's a lot of wealth created in industries that they lead.
Of
I don't think
course.
that's a bad thing, but
No.
putting in like declaring it or saying it is a
Well,
bad
I
thing.
think his issue is not with the wealth. His issue is with their specifically media influence, saying that like they're giving him bad name in the media, and it's like some conspiracy and some like they're all meeting every week to say like how are we gonna fuck Kanye West over, and yes, they do have like, you know, they are overly represented in the media, but is it a conspiracy? Is, you know, like, is there some sort of conspiracy against him? I would say no. Are they overrepresented? Yes. But again, what are you like? What are people meant to do about that? Like, what? There's never a solution. I mean, there was an attempted solution, like, you know, 80 years ago, but there was, you know, there's no solution to this thing, and like even discussing a solution, you go like, ugh, this is not a good idea here.
Do you have any recommendations for bridging the gaps between those two communities, Jews and blacks?
Do I have any I don't know. Fuck no. I mean, this is like such a complex problem. Like, I didn't even really know that they were specifically at odds. I mean, I would say for Kanye West, like, if you don't like he's saying all his people around him are Jews, so like, don't hire them. They work for you. Like, he hired them to begin with. Like, I don't know. There's lots of very capable non-Jewish lawyers and, you know, like, I don't know, managers and stuff. They're not all Jewish. Like, I'm sure there's some very good non-Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, but again, I don't know. I don't know with him. He might just be playing us all right now, because again, like, I'm not like, as someone who is Jewish, I'm not like in, you know, some Orthodox Jew walking around Williamsburg. I'm not gonna stop listening to Kanye West. I don't wear his shit, but I still like him. I'm like, I've probably consumed more Kanye West content, non-music, in the last 2 weeks than I have in my life. So I'm like, yeah. I don't know.
Can I ask you a question about the Jewish community?
Sure.
Is there a big divide between like practicing Jewish and hereditary Jewish?
Like, no, but there
like, would you guys see each other as separate groups, or
the Orthodox are like the real Orthodox ones, where, like, you know, the ones with the crazy hats that you see walking around Williamsburg, like, and they're like they're the ones who are like sideburns. They're like, yeah, but they're like the anti-vaxxers, like they don't not like COVID anti-vaxxers, but they're like, you know, like they have like outbreaks of like polio and shit. They're the ones who generally most like secular Jews are just like, nobody really cares for them, to be honest. They're just wacky. But again, like, I don't really care for any super religious zealots in anybody's religion. Like, you know, I don't like ISIS, but again, I have friends who are Muslim, but like super hardcore ones, you know, they generally feel the same about it. I don't know. It's just like they're just like the super edge case nut jobs.
Do you think the media kind of blows up this issue, and like in real life it's not that like divided?
Or
is it kind of just a like, fair representation?
It's hard to say. Like, looking at like Schultz, he had his show Flagrant 2 or whatever this week, and he went in on Kanye, and like, if you look at the comments, you're just like Schultz was getting lit up from both sides, to be honest. Like, they people were not happy, but a lot of people were like, again, it's like the problem with there was he was like, yeah, you know, the Jews like don't really control the media, and like, again, they don't like control it, they're just overly represented.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't have a solution. I mean, I don't really know, but it's like, you know, Rupert Murdoch, I don't believe is Jewish. I could be wrong. I don't think he is. So it's like, that's a pretty big chunk right there that he holds.
Yeah. So, do you think it gets too hard to like defend the status quo and like try to point out like a fringe idea, like the Jews control everything, or like we're doing just fine?
What do you mean?
Like, if somebody said, you know what, the government's doing pretty good right now, I think a lot of people would dogpile on and say like, oh no, they'd have like any position you take, do we just automatically meet it with criticism, or is it certain ideas are off limits?
Just people are generally not. Here's the thing: there's not that many Jews, and I think it would be safe to say that there's a lot of people who have never met one. So, and it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't know, then you probably have these like misconceptions, and I don't know, but they're easy to like dislike. I don't know. I don't really know. Like like, I understand why some people don't like Jews. I'm sure some people have been fucked over by Jews, but some people have been fucked over by everybody. It's like, it's not like Jews have cornered the market on fucking people over. They've cornered the market on diamonds.
Yeah.
I do know that. So I don't know. It's
okay. Well, thank you, Danny.
Complex story, but yeah, no problem. Thanks for calling.
Yep.
Bye.